Music it can be a lot of things. It can be doors to exploring other cultures. It can be doors to kind of understanding the people around you, but it's also, I think, a great tool and a lens to better understand yourself and your own culture as well. Which is why I think in school music settings, diversity is so important, because when we don't reflect people's selves in school music settings and instead only kind of present one kind of music, it really says something about what's valued and what's not valued. There's definitely a difference, I think, in terms of the ways that we experience diversity and the ways that we talk about diversity. In some settings, diversity can be a challenge and a struggle, and all settings are diverse in some ways. Even if on the surface they look the same, people are diverse in all different kinds of ways. But diversity really can be a strength, and in terms of thinking about it just from like a musical concepts standpoint, you know, diversity of instruments together, of timbres together, of rhythms and sounds and textures and things like that. I mean, that's what kind of brings vitality and life to the sound concept of music, but also to the social setting of music making and of music teaching and learning. A lot of what I've done so far in my research has included exploring diversity and looking at the experiences of people of color in music education settings. I've done a couple studies with music education undergrads training to be teachers, and what it's like to be a person of color in a predominantly white institution and an even more predominantly white College of Music and Music Education department. But also my research has looked at not just from a race perspective, but also just from a musical diversity standpoint as well, looking at bringing other genres of music into school settings and kind of better reflecting the larger musical world. And that's an area that is beginning to grow in our college and in other colleges of music around our country, is really beginning to reflect even larger and more broader ideas of what is music and what is valued. Personally, I think it's really validation from kind of lessons I've learned from my parents and sort of the values that I've tried to live my life by. When I was a kid growing up, my parents used to say always, you know, use your power for good. And I think that this is one way that I could sort of try to use the power that I have for good. And I think that that's validating at a personal level as well.